I'd like to show you a little bit about Prismacolor. It's a professional colored pencil. I use it with adults, but I also use it with children. I use it here in my studio and also with Where Stories Begin, with our writing and illustration guides and kits. So let me show you a little bit about Prismacolor and why I choose to use it for my classes and for our kits and guides. These are all colored pencil projects that students and I have done. They're all in Prismacolor, and as you can see, it's almost a painted look. That's because they're rich in color and almost buttery in consistency due to the amount of wax that's in the pencil. In my studio, I have about 150 different colors of Prismacolor Premiere colored pencils. But for Where Stories Begin, for our kits and guides, we use the 24 set. It's not necessary to have all the colors that I have. It's an enjoyment. I love having them. But it's not necessary to have that investment to work with our kits and guides. I used colors outside of the 24 set when I did this. But for the sake of the demonstration, I will use colors within the set of 24 and get similar results. Also, I will use the set of 24 in Crayola when I do the second example. I normally start with the lighter color, and I'm just going to be demonstrating roughly what is going on here. So I'm starting with the lighter color, and I'm pressing about medium strength. Now, as I lay each color down, I'm going to start partly on top of the previous color. I'm burnishing with white. And then going back over again with the same colors. I will start with white again, and I'm using the little bit heavier pressure because this does not have as much wax in it, which accounts for the richness of it being able to come off out of the pencil onto the paper. I think that this turned out really nice for Crayola, for a less expensive colored pencil. If you are working with very young children, I think this is an excellent choice. I think as they grow just even a little older, it's good to invest in the Prismacolor. For our second example, I was debating on the lovely colors that are in here, or the variations in the blue, or the reddish orange here. This was done by a student, and I just love it, so I kept a print for myself. But I think we'll choose the orange because it's the simplest. It's very straightforward. We'll start again with the lighter color. And so I'm just going to put a shine basically in that same area. And this is going to be crude as opposed to this. This has more details in it. You can see the texture a little more, and there's a little stub there, which I don't know the name of. And we'll go again to our lighter colors, and once again we'll be going partly on top of, mostly on top of our previous color with the white. I want room to bring the next color somewhat up onto it. So this is the base color of the orange. Because it's the base color of the orange, I'm going to put it pretty much over all of the orange. I'm getting softer as I come up on this yellow, so there's more of a natural transition and not a stripe. And then once you start coming, when you're going around the edges, it's a good idea to either do the sweep like this, a curve, follow the shape of your orange, or a lot of times you do little tight circles. Because I want this to move faster, I'm just going to do it this way, which is also good. I find that it's easier to do a rainbow shape than a U shape, so I turn my paper so that it's a more natural motion to the hand. Now, if I was going to do a very realistic one, I would have a bright spot here, not as bright as this, but a brighter spot for the reflection that would be coming up from below. I'm just going to skip a little space there to kind of give the idea of it. As I come up, I'm going softer and softer, so there's more of a natural transition. Then we go back over with our base color again to blend it all together. You could do that with white, blend it all together, and then put the colors back on. That gives a beautiful, beautiful effect. But I'm just going to only put our base color, our main color of the orange back on. You can see Crayola does not have the richness, but you can still do a really nice job with Crayola, and especially for children. I hope this was helpful while you're looking for colored pencils for your children or for yourself. There are many wonderful colored pencils out there that are in the professional grade. In the more amateur grade, so far the only one I have found is Crayola. In the demonstration of the orange, where we blended colors to see how well Prismacolor and Crayola blend, and how Prismacolor has a lot more wax in it and it blends much easier. But still, we stayed within colors that were very close to our orange. We used very close neighbors. We didn't stray very far. If you were to go much further across the color wheel, around the color wheel, for instance, blue and yellow are further apart. If you were to do that, you would see more of a difference in the ability of blending and how much richer and blendable Prismacolor is. Another thing I want to say about Crayola is that if you are going to buy Crayola, I would suggest getting the 50 pack instead of only the 24 pack. That way you don't have to blend as often because you'll have a ready-made color. The other thing is, the last thing is, if you're going to use an electric pencil sharpener, in all the years I've been using Prismacolor, I've never had it glunk up my electric sharpener. If I use Crayola, which is not real often, it does. It can glunk it up, and I found the easiest way to clean out your electric sharpener afterwards is to go ahead and take just a regular number 2 pencil and run it through to help get some of that Crayola out of your electric sharpener. So I think that's it on both Prismacolor and Crayola, and if anybody has anything they would like to share, I would appreciate your input.